You are in a dire situation to make up an appointment, but you find yourself stuck in the traffic. You planned and prepared very well for this life-changing appointment that could catapult your life to the next level, maybe for a job interview, to seal a contract, or to meet a partner on a date. I could feel the surge of adrenaline in you, causing a lot of emotion build up, like you feel stressed, you feel anxious, you feel uncertain about what is happening at the other end. Well, this is exactly what is happening in most relationships when it comes to communication. Communication is actually the bridge between you and your partner's expectation of the relationship. Everybody desires and everybody wants to build a healthy, thriving relationship. But mostly, we find ourselves in relationships where we feel unwanted, we feel unheard, we feel unappreciated, we feel it is not worth keeping. If you want to build a healthy relationship where both partners are consistently seen, valued, appreciated, and loved, then let's dive in. Welcome to my channel. My name is Eric Haven. This is the Building Relationships and Marriage channel, the Bram Network. Feel free to comment your views below. Kindly subscribe to this channel if you haven't, and also share with your loved ones, your family, your friends, your parents, your siblings, your children, and everybody that is in your circle, so that we all learn together and build our relationships and marriages. The late Dr. Miles Monroe made an analysis that marriages are failing primarily because if he compares marriages to other institutions, society has neglected marriage. Why did he say that? Because even before you are qualified to drive on the road, you need to pass a driving test. If you want to progress in your career trajectory, you need certifications. You need to be certified. So, what tests are couples taking to really verify that they are ready and they are appropriate to marry? There is nothing like that. So it becomes a voluntary effort for people to develop themselves with respect to marriage. And this is why so many marriages are having challenges. This is why so many marriages are encountering problems, because we don't prepare enough for marriages. Most people don't even learn and take it upon themselves to study or read about marriages, or to listen to healthy podcasts and channels like this to help them develop and grow their relationship. Most of us have put our relationships on autopilot, thinking and hoping that the best will happen. No, things doesn't work like that. There is no perfect couple in this world. Every couple that you admire, that is the Joneses, are people who are putting in an effort in their relationship. And most people are putting effort in the direction of communication. Communication is a skill that can be developed. Communication is a skill that needs to be developed in relationships. I have categorized this video in 3 parts. 1, how to get the best results when communicating with your partner. Secondly, which is my favorite, what not to do and say when communicating with your partner. And thirdly, communication tips that are guaranteed to help you and your partner get the best out of your communications. How do you get the best results when communicating with your partner? Number 1, let's talk about active listening or reflective listening. It's a primary skill that can turn a struggling relationship quickly around. By validating a partner's feeling and making them feel heard and seen, you create a safe space that is essential for long-term commitment and emotional intimacy. Active listening, particularly when a partner is expressing stress, is significantly linked to a higher relationship satisfaction. Active listening enables couples to see things from different perspectives. This prevents the common trap of focusing on one's own viewpoint. This leads to a cycle of constructive compromise rather than a cycle of blame. Sadly, Many people listen to find gaps to interject and to insert their own argument or sadly advice rather than to understand their partner's opinion and underlying emotion. Many people are distracted while their partners are discussing pertinent issues with them. They are thinking about chores or planning what to say when their partner are making submissions. This causes a lack of deep emotional conversation with your partner, causing them to coil back into their shelves. They feel withdrawn and they feel unheard and unseen. Our modern day scenario has made situations even worse in our relationships. The emergence of digital technology and gadgets coupled with interactive social media pages has caused a lot of couples not to pay attention to their partners when they are communicating with them. Most couples hardly put their gadgets down to pay attention to their partners. In essence, they tend to value their gadgets than their partners because you pay attention to what you value. Between your partner and your gadget, your phone, who do you value most? You spend several hours on your phone, flipping from one reel to the other. You can spend hours on your phone. How much time do you spend with your partner? Secondly, validation. Validation is accepting your partner's feelings, experiences, thoughts, and concerns without judgment. It is about showing you understand, appreciate, and respect their perspective, even though you may not agree with them. When you validate your partner, you make them feel heard, understood, and they are more connected to you. Validation may look like paraphrasing or summarizing what your partner said. It is about showing empathy, acknowledging emotions, and practicing active listening. Example, you can say to your partner, I can see why you feel hurt by that. It makes sense to me. In such a situation, you validated your partner's opinion. You validated what they think or their perspective. Thirdly, the timing of communication. When you get it wrong on the right time to communicate with your partner, you may miss the opportunity to get the best out of your partner. We know we are all busy. Everybody is busy. But the truth is that we have time for the people that are of most importance to us. So could it be that in your effort to get a message across to your partner, you approach them at the wrong time? Example, bringing an important communication when your partner has just returned from work. The idea is right, but the timing is wrong. Also, bringing up a topic when your partner is discussing a topic to you. Like example, your partner has shared their opinion or has brought your attention to an important situation, and then you refer them, I also have this issue. Research suggests that the right time of communication can significantly impact the outcome of the conversation. Dr. John Gottman recommends avoid communication when 1 or both partners are stressed or tired. 2, when you are in public or interrupted frequently. 3, during or immediately after a conflict or disagreement. 4, when emotions are running very high. Instead, consider talking when 1, both partners are relaxed and calm. When you have dedicated time and attention for each other. When you are in a private, comfortable setting. When you have time to process your thoughts and emotions accurately. The next important thing to best the guest results when communicating with your partner is the usage of I instead of you. Example, instead of saying you don't call me or complaining you don't call me, say I feel lonely when I'm not hearing from you. In this state, you are expressing your vulnerability to your partner, a depth of emotions, and how you want to connect to them. It makes them feel how you value their presence in your life. But when it becomes you don't call me, you are accusing them, and it puts them in a defensive mood. Instead of saying you don't help around with the chores in the house, when you use I am overwhelmed by the chores of the house, there's that kind of emotional connection with your vulnerability to your partner, highlighting the need for them to lend you a helping hand. Now, the second part, what not to do and say when you are communicating with your partner. This is a trap most of us fall in when we are communicating with our partners. Things like interjecting when your partner is making a submission during communication. This is very common to most of us when our partners are making their point. We always interject them to say, hold on, I know where you are driving at. I know what you want to say. I know what point you want to drive home. These things not only cut short their vibe and their connection to you, but it also breaks their confidence. It makes them feel unheard. It makes them feel unlistened to. It makes them feel unimportant. Never interject your partner. Before you jump into the discussion to make your point, ask them, have you arrived? Can I come in? Can I make my point? Wait till they have exhausted all their points before you bring in your submission. Remember, communication is a skill. And you need a lot of patience to communicate with your partner. Interjection is one of the things that kill vibes easily. Secondly, criticism and accusations. One thing that kills vibe in relationships is criticism. Criticism involves blaming, judging, or attacking your partner's character, which can make them feel attacked or dismissed. Criticism is one of the causes of failures in relationships. Couples should avoid criticisms when communicating because it can lead to feeling hurt. It can lead to defensiveness and quickly escalate conflicts. When you criticize your partner, they feel they are not enough for you. They feel they are not worthy, and it can kill their confidence and lower their self-esteem. Instead, appreciate your partner. Accept them. Offer words of encouragement and validate them. The best thing you can do to get the best out of your partner is to validate them, appreciate them, and support them instead of criticizing them. There is nothing like constructive criticism when it comes to communicating with your partner. Any negative word you say has an effect on your partner. Avoid using negative words. No matter how constructive it is, avoid it because it causes a hurtful feeling to them and they feel attacked and lowers their self-esteem. The next thing not to do when communicating with your partner is to avoid being defensive and also being reactive. When you are defensive, you are more likely to attack back, to make excuses, deny responsibilities, and dismiss your partner's feelings. Instead, you should listen actively to your partner when you are discussing with them. You should always acknowledge your partner's perspective, irrespective of whether you agree with them or not. You should take responsibility for your actions, and you should always respond thoughtfully to how your words could affect your partner. This is because being defensive escalates conflicts. It blocks effective communication. It makes it hard to listen and understand each other. It creates more tension and hurt feelings for your partner. Lastly, tips for effective communication. Number 1, appreciation. Dale Carnegie, the renowned author of How to Win Friends and Influence People, said that the desire for appreciation is one of the deepest cravings of mankind. He believed that showing genuine appreciation can boost a partner's self-esteem, can encourage positive behavior, can strengthen relationships, and improve communication. To most of us, appreciation is a missing ingredient in our relationship. You cannot imagine how your relationship can turn around when you introduce appreciation with your partner. Appreciate their looks, appreciate their hairstyles, appreciate their dressing, appreciate everything your partner does. I often ask my wife to send me pictures, and anytime she sends me those pictures, wow, I go wild. And my comment after I receive those pictures always send a message that I value you, I love you, and I still appreciate your beauty. It's been so many years in marriage, but I still get head over heels in love with her. Why? Because I appreciate what I have. Number 2, your posture when communicating. Are you able to look straight into your partner's eyes when communicating with them? Are you able to hold their hands when communicating with them? Is there a distance between you when you are communicating? Consider carefully your positions when you are communicating with your partner. Looking straight into your partner's eyes can effectively boost your confidence and create a connection and bond with your partner. Holding your partner's hands, looking straight into their eyes, telling them you love them before starting the communication eases you into the communication. It builds trust, increases confidence, and gets their attention. The third thing you can do is to pray before you begin conversation. You invite the Holy Spirit, you invite God into the communication to take precedence in the conversation so that there will be understanding. You bind every spirit of misunderstanding. Pray with your partner before you commence every conversation and pour your heart out when you are communicating with your partner. Don't leave anything under the carpet, under the rags. Pour out everything, your fears, your uncertainties, your anxieties, anything that worries you, or whatever you want to discuss, bring them on the table without leaving any stone unturned.